That's what I'm talking about, talking about, talking about. Talking about, talking about, talking about.
Hi, welcome to Talking About. I'm JC Alvarez.
I'm Cara Kilduff. I'm talking boots with our guest, Jeromy.
Our guest is Jeromy Dunn. How are you, Jeromy Dunn?
I'm great. Do you like
Welcome.
my boots?
I do.
I believe they were twins.
Twin Gators.
Twin Gators.
Twin
They
Gators.
didn't make it very far, except they made it to my feet.
Oh, great. Peter's going to be protesting the show now. Shit.
No,
All I
it's-
ask is please, Peter, do not spray paint me. That's all I ask.
I ain't going to do it.
Jeromy, thanks for coming.
My pleasure.
Yeah, thank you.
Jeromy Dunn is the founder of PositivelySpeaking.com and the co-host of Pause I Am Radio on blogtalkradio.com, which is a favorite amongst our guests who are very familiar with the show. Thanks for coming.
Definitely. I got the call and I said, I'll go to the opening of an envelope, so why not go there too?
I want to talk first, before we get into how much fun
Sure.
the radio show is, I want to talk about PositivelySpeaking.com because it's a very important foundation. Tell us a little bit about
Sure. So PositivelySpeaking.com is just me. And that's all about me. And the goal behind PositivelySpeaking.com is to raise awareness mainly around the stigma of HIV and AIDS and to help decrease stigma-related issues, to talk about HIV in an adult manner.
A rational manner, maybe.
I wouldn't go that far. But I like to talk about the different topics that are going on, mainly that's surrounding the United States. I know that we all know that HIV is a huge problem. AIDS is a huge problem in countries like continents
right?
of Africa and Asia. They probably have the
Most
greater
concentration
number.
of
there's a greater
infections
number of
and new infections.
and new infections.
Yes.
I have a producer moment right here.
Oh, great. Hi.
Your mic is rustling, so I'm going to give you this one.
Okay.
Don't do anything dirty with it.
I know.
Big.
It's so big.
I know the pressure's on to like
Pressure is on.
the temptation is on.
I might belt out a tune. There was because for the last guest, I'm on the casting couch. So anyway, here we're talking about HIV
Yes.
and AIDS.
Yes.
So I like to talk about the issues that are happening here, especially around criminalization, forced disclosure, jail time for people who don't disclose even though they're using condoms, and I also like to talk about real people, real stories. People coming to terms with their own infection and their own disclosure issues.
Right, because there is that misconception, especially amongst our young people, that the HIV/AIDS crisis is contained and controlled because the medications are so amazing, but it's still something that we're dealing with as a community and just as Americans here, and always the focus is pulled away to countries that I guess they consider it a bigger epidemic, but this is a great way of especially because we have so many. I've met a lot of friends that are in mixed relationships where one partner is positive and one is negative.
Yeah, we call those serodiscordant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's always fantastic when they tell me their stories of like when they were first when they first tell their families and how now they're on the other side of the bridge, and it's kind of like we live now in a world where okay, great, this is just a reality and what it is, and that's always comforting to know that there is a lot of support for the situations like this and people living with HIV.
We like to think there is.
Well, we hope there is.
We hope there is.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
I've
Do you
heard-
find that there's a lot of that stigma still exists? There's a lot of sort of like that we look at that aspect of the community a little differently.
Absolutely, especially in the gay community, with gay men. You go on to dating sites or things like that. you'll always see in somebody's profile, and there's probably about, I would say 80% of profiles say, I'm clean, you be too. D&D free, you be too. So those are very stigmatizing statements, especially to imply that someone who has HIV is dirty, is less than, and deserves it.
Interesting.
So, boys and girls, I shower. I shower every day, and I promise you,
smell
I'm clean.
lovely.
Don't I? Yeah.
You look real pretty too.
Thank you,
This
honey.
is a time when I get to objectify you.
Yeah. I like being objectified.
He got real pretty eyes and stuff.
Looks like a Baldwin. What a Baldwin. I saw Clueless the other day, so
Oh, did
it
you?
has
Yeah,
a whole.
Baldwin. I'm a Baldwin?
You're a Baldwin.
I'm not a Barney,
I forgot what the Barney was. What's a Barney?
the ugly one.
Oh,
You
well,
got
no.
you got the Betty, the Barney.
Oh, the Betty.
Yeah, the Betty,
Wait
the
a minute,
Barney.
but if we're talking about the Flintstones, Barney was kind of
Ugly
cute.
one.
He was played by a Baldwin in one of the later movies.
Thank you very much.
God, that was awful.
Thank you very much.
Why they have to do that to our pop culture, I don't know. But
let's bring
it
this.
back.
Let's bring it back in. Do you go out and speak to the community and find that a lot of young people have specific questions for you?
all the time, all the time. My favorite one is, how'd you get it? And
Like you know.
well,
I planned it.
I hunted it down. It was like a great beast I was looking for. Because because kids, they do ask those questions. Well, how'd you get it? What'd you do? What happened? What was going on? And it's I made some decisions and choices in my life that weren't always the most well educated. But I have to live with those decisions. And so I got it through the good old fashioned way, sex. Of course, there's all kinds of different ways now you can get it, injections and sharing needles and the babies being born today. But nobody really deserves. Nobody should.
Right.
Nobody deserves the
Right,
virus. at all.
absolutely, and I think that's what you're also doing, speaking out, and also through your organization, and also on the radio,
Yeah.
because that's an opportunity to not only like every day reach out to an audience,
Yeah.
and tell your story, but have people tell you their stories.
Yeah, and that's what's great about the radio show, PauseIam.com, PauseIam Radio, is I host the show with my co-host Robert Brining, and he and I we do it every week, every Sunday. He's in Philadelphia, I'm here in New York, and it's a wonderful. The wonders of technology can bring everybody together, and we have listeners from coast to coast, North Africa, South Africa, into the major European Union. They're scattered throughout all over the world.
That's amazing.
And it's amazing how people's stories are very similar to our own. And it's encouraging to hear other people's stories, other people's disclosure issues, other people's, I get people all the time who are newly infected and they contact me through email or Facebook and things like that. And they say, I really don't know what to do right now. I'm scared. It is a scary thing. You're being told you have a life-threatening virus. If you don't take these meds, you will die. That's I'm not going to sugarcoat this. If you don't take your medication, you don't take care of yourself, you will die. So it's an opportunity to talk to those guys, to talk to those kids, really, and get them to understand that you're not going to die if you take your medicine. Just adhere to it, work out, be healthy, make good decisions.
Right.
So
Right.
You're doing service.
Absolutely.
Like-
I try to. Yeah.
I'm sorry, it just sounds like the way you're describing this, it sounds like you're talking about recovery, and in a way you are. Like, I find that interesting, and it's amazing what you're doing for people that are coming to you with questions they don't know.
Yeah, they don't know where to go. It is kind of recovery, right? When you are told and you are given a diagnosis of some sort, cancer, HIV diagnosis, there's a grieving process that you go through. You're going to barter. You're going to try to, you're going to try to explain things away. You're going to get very angry. You're going to get very depressed. And it's not until you accept it and start moving on that you start being true to yourself.
And it's important to have a really good support system,
Absolutely.
and you know, have friends that understand.
Absolutely. If you don't have a good support system, I suggest you find one. You know, that can be your mom, your dad, your brothers, your sisters, your cousins, your uncles. It could be a best friend. It could be your dog. You know,
So it doesn't have to be like you have to be in a gay community in a large
Not at all.
city. It could be.
This is not. I mean, HIV, as we all know, it crosses all borders, and it's something that touches everyone.
genders and borders.
Yeah,
There
and
are
I-
none.
And I don't know. I think the last time that I had looked at some numbers, it was interesting how there was such a major rise in women being infected.
Yeah.
Straight women were contracting the disease, which was to me very interesting. That was happening.
Yeah. The demographic has changed. It's no longer like it was in the 1980s and 1990s. It's no longer this white gay male disease. Although gay men still make up over 85% of all new infections. Now, I just want to get that straight. Clear.
Yeah, because
Freudians. But but what we also are seeing is that male African American infections are on the same par as all gay male infections. So, or I should say men who have sex with men, because not all men identify as gay. So I just want to make that clear, that distinction. But so you've got some men that are straight, are heterosexual, and they are not having sex with men, but they could be intravenous drug users. You know, there's different variables that all play into all of this. So it's really important to see when you see statistics like that to understand.
So do you have like all populations coming to ask you for help or?
Oh yes, oh yeah. I get mothers, I get fathers, I get kids, 18, 19 years old. I get older folks. You know, so I get everybody. You know, I think the ones that really touch my heart the most are I've got a couple of people from Egypt, 2 from Saudi Arabia, and 1 from Syria who have reached out because they can't talk about it in those countries. Right. They will get killed. Right. They will be executed because they've got a couple different things going on. A, they're gay, and 2, now they're HIV positive, and they just don't have anywhere to turn. So it's, you know, it's interesting to see what the issues that we've got going on in our own country, but at least it's not that severe.
what's fortunate is that they do have a place to turn. And as we're coming to the end of the show, I want to make sure that people know where they can reach out to you. Tell us again about your website so that everyone hears it from you, where they can reach out to you.
Sure, they can get to me through my website, which is www.positivelyspeaking.com. That's positively speaking.com.
I love that.
It's
So catchy.
I know, is it? I need my own show.
So catchy.
Oh wait, I do have my own show.
And tell us about the show.
Oh yeah, Pause I Am Radio. We are on the air every Sunday at 9 p.m. Eastern. So
that's a
tune in.
decent hour. I thought he was going to say 9 a.m.
No, 9 p.m. And we run for an hour, and we always have a very interesting guest on. So
Definitely check it out, you guys.
definitely.
Well, I think that the service that you're not only doing as a person living with HIV and getting the story out there is just that it's, you know, that's in itself just such a great being such a great positive role model is so important.
Pun intended.
Well,
And
yeah, exactly.
You could be a selfish shit, you know? No, really, because you can. It could go either way. So
It certainly can, yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I admire you a
Well,
lot.
thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm not in
Power
it.
of example.
I'm not in it for the money, but
Yes, you are.
yes, I am. But no, not really. But you know, I just want to leave your viewers with one piece of advice. I'm not going to lecture to you, but my goal is to give you the information that you need to make informed decisions. We know that not everybody uses protection every time that they have sex. And if you tell me that you do, you're lying. and you will go to hell for that. So now I'm gonna have a Christian right PETA and the Christians.
And the Pope gonna be up
They're
on
all
your
calling
ass.
in right
Exactly,
now.
calling in right now. But
The Pope will take a while.
but make your own decisions. You know, make decisions for your own sexual health, and never, ever, ever leave that up to somebody else. So if you
really good
want to
advice.
know what somebody else's sexual health is, make sure you ask. Don't expect your partner or partners to tell you.
Right. Right. Take responsibility. That's great advice. Take responsibility for yourself, because that in itself is how you value your.
That's loving yourself.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
and that's very important. You know, I'm also really grateful that we were able to have this discussion here amongst us, not only in a very casual and comedic kind of way, but also as it's important to also approach this in a very candid and lighthearted way.
Well, you have to. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm sick and tired of watching Philadelphia.
It can't be doom and gloom 24 hours a day, people.
Oh God.
Jeez.
You know, I'm tired of seeing.
We know how it ends.
Exactly. I mean, we're all dying. It's going to happen once.
Every
At
day.
least once. If it's Shirley MacLaine, it might happen 3 or 4 times. But you know,
Her.
I do too. God, I love her. But you know, we have to take care of the bodies that we're in today. You know what? Yeah, I live with a virus. It doesn't define me. You know, there's three words in HIV: human immunodeficiency virus, and what defines me is the H in all of that, is the human part, and we're all human. We all share the same experiences. I take my meds. I'm undetectable. I'm very healthy, and I am most likely going to live to a ripe old age of 20.
And you said it with a clear face. Get it?
She's so funny. She's a funny one. I might have to go see you
Oh,
and then
boy.
heckle. I'm a good
No.
heckler. I'm a good heckler. Yes.
Jeremy
Yes.
Dunn, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank
for joining
you.
us.
Thank you, guys.
It's always,
You gotta come
it's
back.
always a
will.
pleasure. You're always welcome. And hey, another great episode.
Yay!
Yay.
Gummy bears.
I know I didn't bring any today.
Ah,
Our
we'll
show
get
today is
some.
not sponsored by gummy bears.
No, we just like to eat them after.
But you've been watching Talking About. I'm JC Alvarez.
I'm Cara Kilduff. Thank you for watching.
And go to our website, check out some of our episodes, www.talkingabout.info.
talking about,
See ya.
talking about.